Is your title getting in the way of your leadership? We're going to break this down in just a little bit, but first, real quick, if you're sick of the endless grind and you're ready to start building a life on your own terms, I've got something for you. Just hit the link in the description below or go to my site at homebusinesshustle.com/4 mindset shifts. It's my free guide called The 4 Mindset Shifts That Changed Everything, and it's the compass that you need to stop surviving and start building. Now, with that said, let's get right into it today. So, for a long time, I was caught up in this all or nothing mentality, right? At the time I was working for a company, and I had this dream, if you will, this vision of, for how things should be, like how they should be done, right? I had all these ideas, all this energy, but I wasn't the boss, right? I wasn't the CEO, if you will. I wasn't even the team lead, right? This was ages ago. I was just, a guy on the team, essentially. And I started getting super frustrated, right? I'd pitch an idea and it would go, it would easily get shot down. I'd see a problem and I'd get told something like, hey, listen, that's a little bit above your pay grade, don't you think? And I just started getting more and more frustrated, and it started turning into bitterness, if you will, right? I'd sit in meetings and just check out, sitting there, not thinking about much, just kind of thinking, what's the point, right? If I can't be the CEO, if I can't be the one calling the shots, then why even bother, right? That was my mentality. I'm gonna sit back, do my work, and go home. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. But listen, that mindset, first of all, that was my mindset, right? But that mindset, that's that all or nothing myth of a mindset. That right there is a trap that keeps so many people stuck in the whatever life they're living, right? And then they're trying to break free, but they don't realize that their own mindset has them stuck, right? It's this lie that says that if you're not on the top, right, you're not a leader and you can't make an impact. Let me tell you, that ain't true. Not one bit. And one day, I just had this emotional outburst, this revelation, if you will, and it was just pure rage at my own stupidity, right? I finally came of age, I suppose. I have a lot of these moments in my car stuck in traffic, so this is no different, right? I was there in my car, driving back home, and I'm there essentially yelling at myself, right? I'm like, are you serious? You're just gonna sit on the sidelines and be miserable? You're gonna let the system tell you whether or not you have value? That was my discussion with myself, my argument. And that argument, that hit me hard. But what I realized was that my leadership wasn't tied to a title. My leadership was tied to my actions, right? And I realized that what I was doing was being a hindrance. It was not helping me at all, right? I was letting my frustration and my ego stop me from making a difference, right? I was playing a victim role, if you will, and I was essentially blaming my lack of success on the organization that I was with, right? When the real problem wasn't the organization, wasn't my job, wasn't the situation that I was in. It was me. It was my mindset, right? I was so convinced that I had to be the captain of the team, right? I had to be the leader or, the boss, the CEO, whatever. I had that so fixed in my mind that that's how it had to be, right? Or I just literally take my ball, and go home, for lack of better terms. You know what I mean? And I was essentially hurting myself in the process, personally and professionally. And the big lesson that I learned throughout this was that true leadership isn't about the position that you hold, right? It's about the value that you create, the value that you bring to the table. Are you with me? It's not about being the top dog, but about being the person who others can look to, who they trust, who they know will help them out, right? That person, you want to be the go-to person. That is the leader, the person that people go to for help, the person that people go to because they know they have confidence in you that you are going to help them, right? Some people come from the mindset that says, like, I'll lead when I get the title, right? They're waiting for that title at work. But when you're a leader, your mindset is different. You'll have a mindset of, I'll lead now and the title will follow, right? Like, I'm going to do the things now, even though I don't have the title. I'm going to do the things that a leader does now. And at one point, eventually that title will be placed on me, or it will be, it'll be given to me. So how do you actually apply this into your life, right? How do you, that's a good question. I don't know, but here's the answer. You want to, you start being a leader by being a leader right where you are, wherever it is that you are. Help a teammate with a problem, right? Take initiative on a project that you may have, right? Even if it's not, even if it's not your job, right? Take that initiative, share your knowledge with others. The moment that you stop worrying about who gets the credit and start focusing on making an impact, that's the very moment that you start building your entrepreneurial mindset. You start building your own influence, your own legacy, your own business, if you will, of being a leader, right? Because what you'll find is that by helping others, you ultimately help yourself. You know what I mean? By leading from where you are, you prove that you have what it takes to get where you want to go, right? Don't let your frustration cause you to sit on the sidelines. Don't let your lack of title stop you from being a leader, all right? You know what I mean? And that right there, that's exactly why I put together my free guide, this guide called The 4 Mindset Shifts That Changed Everything, right? It's a playbook for exactly this kind of thinking, right? It's essentially like a manual, if you will, a brief manual, but it's for helping you start thinking or transform your thinking in a way that helps you build a life of purpose and freedom, one step at a time. It's completely free. Just click the link in the description or go to the homebusinesshustle.com/4 mindset shifts and get your copy right now. No pressure, no pitch, just real talk between you and me. Let's go. I want you to get that, get after it, get on it, and start making changes. That's all I have for you for today, and I will catch you on the next episode. Take care now. Bye.